Okay, so this interview has been conducted for the Patterton Prisoner of War Camp and its Neighbours project. My name is Scott Wilson and the respondent is Alistair Mutrie. The date is the 30th of April 2019 and the interview is taking place in Alistair's home in Nits Hill Road. Alistair, thank you very much for being interviewed as part of the project. Can I just confirm your name, please?
Yes, Alistair Mutrie.
And can you tell me your year of birth?
26/9/43.
Okay, and just for the record, what is your connection to the Patterton Prisoner of War Camp?
My connection is really memories. Moving from Nits Hill to Canwardrick at the age of 10, and with the local lads, we used to walk right up the Patterton Road, and we seen the Patterton camp, but by that time it was in a position of sort of demolition. It had been vandalised, but it was there, you could see it, quite plainly. And we used that, walking up there, as a shortcut to go into the Gorbals waterworks, and that's my memory, walking up there with friends, young 10-year-old, 11-year-olds, to go up to the dams. So that's my memory of it, really, It's just it was vandalised, and I really didn't know to the...
Can you tell me what your memories of how it looked, other than vandalism, about any of the buildings?
Aye, there was sort of white buildings. But the roofs were all off. As I said, there was big holes in walls. Now that was what, 10, that would be the 1950s, 1953, wherever that.
So was the place empty of people at that point?
Yeah.
Did you ever enter any of the buildings?
No.
Have you any other memories of how the buildings were located or situated?
No, they were just sort of plain white, there was, I think a lot had been demolished actually, because there was very few standing, but everybody knew that was a Patterton war camp, everybody locally, that's where the prisoners of war were, and a lad that stayed along the road, Nits Hill Road, his second name was Peachy. I just forget his second name, he's dead a long time ago, but he was a keen gardener like myself, and I was out in the garden working away, and he stopped me. We were talking away, and then ended up talking about the Patterton camp, and I just, Mr. Peachy just come up, I just forget his first name, but he was a lot older than me, and he said that he was what do you call it? He stayed in this camp. What do you call them? Squatter. That's what it was. Yeah, Jimmy was a squatter in the camp. Or Jimmy, I'm saying, was Mr. Peachy, and he told me that it was a squatter, and he said, yeah. He says after the war you couldn't get a house. He says so the camp was there was roofs on it. He says so there was quite a number of people moved in and they squatted in that camp till they get a council house. And I didn't know that, and it was quite interesting. I always remember that conversation with him.
Did he tell you any stories about his time squatting?
No, he just said he was a squatter. They divided the compartments, and they squatted to get a council house that had sort of, I suppose, thrown them out and gave them a council house. But yeah, he said he was a squatter.
Okay, so just on talking to the local community, do you have any stories from people round about of any of their memories within the camp?
No, the only person I really know is my dad that worked in there. And I remember when we moved to Canwardrick, when we moved into the house, the lady next door says, "Oh, hello, Bob." And she said, "You still working in the SRD?" And he said, "Yeah." She said, "Any chance of a job?" So my dad said, "Yeah, I'll put a word in for you." It was the lady next door. I'd worked in it and obviously left. she asked my dad if she could get my job back, yeah.
So your dad worked for the MOD, what was the building beside the camp?
No, it was inside
It
it.
was inside
I was just at the entrance. It was actually, the gates were there. You went through the gates, and my dad's office from the right hand side where they clocked their cards.
Can you tell me about your dad's responsibilities in that role?
Well, I was just a timekeeper, really, you know. Making sure, you know, they were, you know, you get quartered at that time and half hour if you were an hour late, that sort of thing. So, that was taken off their wages, obviously, so he was a timekeeper. They clocked out at night too. I suppose it was 5 o'clock at night, and in these days it was a 48-hour week, 50-hour week. And they clocked in and out, and that was my dad's job, to make up the timesheets. And
did your dad ever have any stories to tell you about any of his interactions with any of the prisoners?
No, never. As I said, I was young. I was, you know, 6. Oh, no, I would be about. My dad was still working there, and then it shut down. All of a sudden it closed. My dad was made redundant. Now I would be 53. So let's see. Yeah, aye. My dad was made redundant around about 19. I think it must have been about 1955 or something. You know, they closed the camp down.
Yeah. So what happened to your dad after that?
My dad went to work as a timekeeper in the cooperative SCWS in Shield Hall. He had great connections through the Independent Labour Party, you know.
You mentioned to me earlier around the Puggy train line. Can you talk to me about that?
Aye, yeah. As I said, it was Kennishead Station. It went straight on to Barhead. The trains came from Central Station right through Pollock Shaws, run to Kennishead. From Kennishead they went to Barhead. 200 yards beyond Kennishead Station, on the left hand side there was a branch, a cut off, and trains used to come in and dump sort of containers with, obviously I didn't know, but it was supplies at the time, and they would lie there maybe for a couple of days or whatever, and then this wee steam locomotive came chugging out the supply depot, and it hooked on and it drove, you know, it steamed right into the camp. So it was some size of MOD establishment for a train to run right through it. There was high buildings, and they would run right through and drop the supplies off. Now I suppose the supplies, because I can speak, my dad came home one night with a tent, and it was camouflaged, and it had a mosquito net on it. So it must have been used in North Africa at a Battle of Alamein or something. But he came home with his tent anyway, so I reckon the supplies would have been helmets, uniforms, shirts, boots, sets of that. So kind of supplies he would have in there.
So this was supplies going to the guards in the prisoner of war camp?
No, this was the supply. This is where they were told the supplies to distribute to the army. Right? They held them there, and then maybe some regiment or whatever would, they needed haversacks or shirts or whatever. At that time, remember, there was conscription, so there was just a continuous flow. You were conscripted at 18, and if you were serving an apprenticeship, you could serve your apprenticeship at 21 and then do your 2 years, so.
Did you know anybody locally who got conscripted?
Oh, aye.
You tell me about some of the feelings that made people feel at that point?
Well, it was just part of life, really, the lad along the road, across the road, Robert Ronalds, we went there to see him going away in Central Station. He was conscripted. He was serving his apprenticeship along just across the road here in Dalglish's engineering factory in the estate, and they went along to see him. My older brother he was called up for conscription, but he decided to finish his apprenticeship as a turner, and by the time he'd finished his apprenticeship, he was lucky they'd finished with conscription, so he missed it by a couple of months. But yeah, all the local lads just went, you know, that was it, you know, that was a fact of life, you know, and it wasn't that bad, you know, they were maybe away for 6-7 weeks and home again for a week or something, you know.
How did that make you feel as a 10-year-old? How did you feel about seeing these people get conscripted?
It was just a fact of life. That, you know, that was it. You know, you were 18 and you get conscripted. You know, and I think if I was 18 at the time, I'd have just accepted that. I was serving my apprenticeship, so I'd have finished my apprenticeship, but I'd have just taken that's a fact of life, as it is in other countries. There's conscription, you know. Yeah. I knew a couple of friends of mine who went to the army and they deserted, you know. They lasted about 4 days and they were off. I've got a friend, actually, I'll not mention his name, he's still a friend. He ended up doing, instead of doing 2 years national service, he ended up doing 4 years in an army prisoner of war camp down in the South Island, because he deserted, kept running away. So instead of doing 2 years, he did 4 years in an army prison.
Okay, can I come back to what you were saying earlier around exploring the area with your friends when you were young? Can you tell me what you can remember in terms of any shops or anything that was round about the prisoner of war camp?
Shops, huh? Well, Thornleybank, it was built in cotton. You know, a lot of people came from Ulster across to Thornleybank, and there was where the MOD was, you know, that was where the cotton mill was, you know, and it was just like rows of, how do I put it, just old-fashioned run-down tenements, you know, just a row on the right-hand side. North Park Terrace, that was one of them, and they were all, you know, outside toilets. There was a wee shop. There was a picture hall, the Avian Picture Hall, which was quite, everybody went to the Avian Picture Hall, and just where, how would I put it, where McDonald's is, exactly where McDonald's is, that was the Avian Cinema, and everybody went to the Avian, you know.
So in terms of, I think you mentioned earlier about, you remember the post office, and I remember stories of the post office and Wee Joe's shop. Can you tell me some memories around that?
Not really, you know, we just passed by, we knew it was there, you know, and you know, you could see there was a post office sign, you know, and there was a couple of, a friend that used to go out with, he stayed in Thornleybank Road, and his dad worked in the sewage work, and you know, a lot of people in the sewage work, it was away, oh dear, it was over by the Patterton station, and they moved there and they would use the shop for the post office, but there wasn't many houses round about, you know, it was just open fields, farming fields, and you know, farmers and such like, you know, and Newton Mearns was, you know, we used to go to the Newton Mearns. My uncle was a blacksmith in Newton Mearns, and yeah.
Do you have any memories of any stories that your dad may have talked about, or anybody who could speak about the relations that the local community had with?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about
yeah. As I said, when I moved here, you know, the people that were in Canwardick, you know, the women used to talk, you know, and you would hear them talking about getting mats down from the camp, right down into Thornleybank. Now, whether they entered the main gate, I'm not sure about that, because the people in Canwardick Road and that, they used to hand toys to the kids, the prisoners, So I'd imagine there was a gate and somewhere along Canwardick Road. That's away at the other side. And I'd imagine they would end up because they were giving toys to the kids. So I don't think they went through the main gate. They went right down Thornybank and down Canwardick Road and entered in there. But I'm not sure about that. But I think that would be the only way they could hand the toys out to the kids. Yeah.
Do you know anything about the toys?
No, it was just wooden, just wood toys, carved. But it was a good relation. I mean, I never heard one person, no, women or men, saying anything bad about these prisoners. It was always, there was a sort of an affection, because of these handout to the children, There just seemed to be, I don't think there was any sort of catcalling or animosity or anything like that. I never gathered that. I always got that impression, listening to the older people, that there was a sort of an affection, and they felt sorry for, I suppose they didn't know, they were glad they were in a prisoner of war camp rather than fighting, but yeah, I would say that there was no sort of animal. I never heard anybody speaking ill of any of them. It was always sort of positive stuff, handing toys. I know this is it, the handing the toys to the kids, getting marched down. So
when they were getting marched down, do you know where they were going? Or?
They were going into the supplies, into them. I keep calling it SRD, that's all we knew it, as SRD. And we were marched in there obviously to work, Obviously it would be light work, emptying the containers, I suppose, they would have vehicles inside, because as I said, it was massive, it was big. And tall buildings, I think they used the tall buildings from the cotton days, But Canwardick Road, that was, I always remember Canwardick Road, it was all corrugated iron, right down the Canwardick Road, right to the end, not to the end of Canwardick Road, to the Poggy with the train, and it would go, the corrugated iron would go up. So it was some size, it was a massive place. Obviously you don't know the area, but looking from the business part entrance, across with the library, kind of way stretching away over, right down to Canwardick Road,
So the library would be the one in Thornybank?
Thornybank, directly across the library. That was the entrance where my dad worked, and that was it. Yeah, there was a wee shop beside it called Easton's. It was a paper shop, and I used to deliver papers. My dad thought he was doing me a good turn and got me a paper run, which I wasn't too pleased about it, was I? Anyway, there was a wee shop beside it. It was Easton's. Yeah.
So it stretched from there. How far down did it go?
Where, the camp? How did I put it? It would go back the way, not this way. Now how far would it would go back quite a bit, yeah. And then, as I said, it would stretch right through from Renfrewshire at that time, right into across the street from Glasgow. I mean, Canwardick was Council Glasgow, so you had East Renfrewshire here, and across the road was the council houses in Canwardick. So it was actually the people that the Glaswegians actually had, I would say, had more contact with them than the Renfrewshire people.
So do you get a sense of, obviously you know the size of it, and with your father being the timekeeper, did you ever get a sense of how many people worked in the camp?
I just couldn't. I just know that people, as I said, that lady, I ended up marrying her daughter actually. Maggie just asked my dad when we moved in, he said, "You still in the SRD, Bob?" And my dad said, "Yeah." He said, "Could you speak to about somebody about a job for me, Bob?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll speak to Maggie for you." But I can't remember, I couldn't say. But it must have been quite big to have a timekeeper. Let's put it that way, you know. If it was just a small operation, it would just be writing in a book, but actually they were clocking cards. And you know, as I said, it was my dad's job to make up the cards for each individual. See if they were early, late, and they were docked. Yeah.
Where's Cowglen from here?
A wee over.
Well, was that connected to Patterton?
It must have been, because that was a military hospital for British soldiers, as I remember it. So I suppose that the prisoners would be taken there if they were ill. I would imagine that would be the case. That would be the nearest hospital, would be Cowglen Military Hospital, because that's where the soldiers were taken, because all the local girls gathered at the gates of the hospital, I can tell you. All the Lincoln, I was only 10, 11, but the 18-year-olds and that, they were always hanging about the gates waiting for the soldiers coming. Yeah, yeah. So obviously I would think that if they took all that, would be the nearest place they would take me to, would be Cowglen Military Hospital.
What age were you when you first met, your first memory of the camp?
10, 11. Yeah, about 10, yeah. Walking up, yeah. We moved here. I would be, 10-year-old. So that would be my first memory of the camp. Because, you know, in these days you just moved in and it was just a group, you know. It was just after the war and there was no, you just met people and you were just accepted, and, you know, other people that had been there would go up to the dams and you just went to the dams and there's the Patterton WWII, you know. That was really it, you know. And then, you know, you hear the stories when you were round about with, you know, for the women and the men, you know, and the Patterton WWII. Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell us? Is there anything else that we've missed?
No, I don't think so. I think that's really it. I don't know if that's enough, but that's all I can remember. But Jimmy, Mr. Peachy, you know, there were squatters in there. Because he told me that there were squatters, and I was quite surprised actually to find that out, you know. So that's really my sort of memory, and my dad working, you know, to get marched down to work in the camp. There must have been quite a few of them actually, but as I said before, I'll just repeat myself, I've never heard anybody speaking ill of them. Never heard anybody saying anything about the Germans or the Italians or at all. Then I was quite affectionate.
And if you know if any of the prisoner of wars had stayed on afterwards?
No, I couldn't tell you that, no.
So you mentioned about a gate, I think you possibly down towards Calandrick Road. Can you tell us a little bit around that gate?
No, because by the time I seen it, it was just corrugated iron from the top of Canwaddick Road, just at Thorney Bank, right down the whole length of Canwaddick Road, which is a long, long road. That was where we moved to, Canwaddick Road, and it was just corrugated 6 feet, maybe 7 feet corrugated iron, just right down that road, maybe for about 200 yards, easy. So that's, you know, but there must have been an entrance there. There must have been an entrance for them to pass toys onto the kids in Canwaddick, you know, because if they come through the main gate, they wouldn't see the children.
Can you describe how tall the corrugated iron wall was, and if the colours or anything you can remember about it?
It was just, I would just say black, and it was maybe 6, 7 feet. It was, I mean, you couldn't climb it, but I mean, you would have to really jump up in the air to, you know, in your hand, you know, there was no grip for, you know, it was really quite solid. And then they demolished, they took it away.
Was there any barbed wire or anything at the top for you?
Aye, there was barbed wire. Yeah.
Was it, how many sort of spirals?
Just one or two, it was just to keep the lights out, you know, because it was still there. I mean, it wasn't demolished, it was empty, but it wasn't demolished. it wasn't, till afterwards, I don't know whether East Renfrewshire came into being and they took away the corrugated iron and the buildings were demolished, and that was really it. It just became an empty space. For years and years it was just totally empty. Then they built houses on it, and it lay empty for years after that again, till they built the business park. Yeah, but it was some size. It was a really big size. I said it must have been to have a train to drive in the supplies. It must have been quite massive. I never get inside it myself. Never. I just went at night time. I would just go. My dad's office is just as soon as you went in. It was on the right hand side, and I just went in. With Dad.
Can you describe what Dad's uniform looked like?
He just a suit, collar and tie. He's just a civilian. Yeah. That's and it was all civilians, obviously. I would think working it too. Yeah. It was just it was massive. I mean, I can remember doing my paper run, finishing my paper run and walking down beside that. That was the side of the road I walked. The council houses were over there, but I was walking down beside the corrugated iron. And there was a bridge. There's a bridge here too with a burn. There's a wee burn. And you would cross over the burn with the bridge, and the corrugated iron would just sort of stop there. Yeah.
Whereabouts that was at the bottom of Kilmordrick Road?
Aye. Well, it's a Kilmordrick Road continues on to Kennishead Station, right? But there's a wee burn there, and they built a bridge. There's a bridge here, We stayed, the people over the burn. That's what they called us. I stayed there. He's fair the burn, Yeah, I would walk along that side, yeah. I would just imagine that the corrugated iron would just stop there. Yeah. And then the puggy was just about 20 yards further on. And that's what it's called. It's still called today, the puggy. Yeah. That's good memories. I bring back a lot of memories for myself there, even to me.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to add as a final?
No, just nice memories. Fine.
Okay. Well, also thank you very much for being interviewed today. Really appreciate your time.
No problem.
And we'll keep you up to date with how the project goes.
No problem. It's a pleasure.